Hello, Wheeler Cross Country. I'm totally bummed that I'm not there to eat pasta with you. But don't worry, I didn't forget about you. I want to make sure that I give you a little bit of a heads up about the class meets coming up this Saturday. So let's get to it. This Saturday, it's at Pontigansett. We're gonna have a bus that's leaving Wheeler at 7:45 a.m. That way, we'll get up there by probably around 8:30 ish, which give the girls plenty of time to warm up, and then the boys' varsities after that. Then the girls' JV is at noon. The boys' JV 1, which is going to be 10 runners, at 12:45, and then boys' JV 2 is at 1:30. All right, let's talk about qualifying for states. And this is for the varsity runners. There's no JV meet at states. And there's also no freshman meet. Well, there was a freshman meet on Monday. That is the freshman state meet. But to qualify for states, there are three ways to do this. One is to be one of the top three schools in the division meets, which already happened, and we did not qualify, unfortunately, on the boys or the girls side for the division meets. So that basically means everything comes down to this Saturday, because the top team at the class meet that is not already in from the division meet will make it in, and there will be three wild cards also. So if we're not one of the top teams, or if we don't make that top spot in the class meet to make it in, what they do is they take everyone from class A, class B, class C. They put all those teams that are not currently into the state meet, they put them all in and score it as if it was one giant invitational, and the top three teams out of that qualify for the state meet as well. So even if we fall short, as long as we have a really good meet in general, we can still qualify for one of those three wildcard spots. There's also, though, let's say that we still don't get in as a team, there's still individual qualifying that can happen. So if one of our teams does not make it in, then what they do is they take the top 15 individuals for all the teams across all the classes that did not make it in for the varsity races, and they take the top 15 individuals. And so the cutoffs are up here. You'll see last year the girls' 15th place was 22:47. The boys was 18:30. Year before that was 22:20 for girls, 17:55 for boys. So a little bit faster of a day. And then in 2014, it was 22:47 and 18:14. So it looks like we'll definitely get some individuals in if for some reason we can't get our entire varsity teams in. And then I want to talk a little bit about individual honors. There are all division honors, the top 21 from the division meets. And those are the ones that already happened. So they compile a list of the top 21 from all those, and we'll find out about those later on. Those are not just from one meet. It's not from each meet. It's from the combination of all four meets. But there's also all class honors. So if you're shooting for all class, you're trying to get top 21 in the class meet on Saturday for the varsity race. Last year, the 21st place for the girls was 22:32, and for the boys was 17:47. So hopefully we can get a couple of all-class runners in there. There's also all-state, which will happen at the state meet. That's the top 21 at the state meet, but we'll get to that next week if we have runners going to the state meet. And then how can you prepare for this race on Saturday besides what you've already done? Well, first off, stay flexible, do some yoga, make sure you're stretching between now and the race, rolling out your legs, doing everything you can to get all stretched out. Make sure you're hydrating. I cannot stress this enough. Just really be drinking water. You want to stay hydrated. If you're hydrated, you will run so much better. And it's hard to stay hydrated. You really have to put a lot of effort in. I'm actually feeling a little dehydrated right now because I haven't drank enough water today. But make that a priority over the next couple of days. Make sure you're getting plenty of sleep, that you're resting up, that you study the course map. It's online. Plus, we'll have just visited it yesterday or 2 days ago on Tuesday. And let's see, don't go out Friday night. That's pretty obvious. Don't go out to a movie or just stay in Friday night. Get to sleep early, and make sure to get yourself pumped up. Watching some pump up videos, which I think you guys might do after you watch this video. Um, all right, now before I sign out, though, I do want to look at some stats from previous years and from this year. Actually, let's start with this year. So this is our division meets. So on the girls' side down here, so here we are in Metro. So we're in the hardest division of all. I mean, we got Portsmouth, which they'll probably be the state champs this year. LaSalle's also, and then Barrington and Bayview. That is 4 really, really hard teams. Those are 4 of the top teams in the entire state in Metro. So this is what happened in the Metro. There were 3 teams that made it in. Those were the 3 that made it in. And then these are the, with Suburban, Southern, Northern. The guys' side, again, some pretty tough competition. LaSalle, Barrington. And then we actually beat Portsmouth in our last race, even though they beat us early in the season. And St. Ray's only beat us by 1 point on their course. So we were actually right in the running for this. So that's basically what the division meets look like. Now, when it comes to the actual Class C championship, so the girls will be racing on Saturday. The varsity girls will be racing against 18 schools. All right, they're listed all right here. All right, and Ponagansett and Prout, they already made it in. So if they beat us, that doesn't change our chances of making it in automatically. So we can if we only let Ponagansett or Prout beat us, that's great. All right. Ponagansett, actually, the girls could win this darn thing. Like Ponagansett, their times are similar to ours. Most of their girls run between 22 and 23 minutes. So we actually have a chance at, taking this thing if we have a good day. Where in Prout, we beat them by 12 points on the injury fund. So they're beatable. North Smithfield, from what I saw, I mean, we have not raced them yet, but I'm not too concerned about them. I don't think that they look all that strong. St. Ray's, we beat them 26-33 back in week 1 at Slater Park. And the teams that have the double stars are the ones that qualified last year for states. So Ponagansett, Prout, North Smithfield, and Burrillville qualified last year for states. But North Smithfield, I think, lost a couple of their girls as well. That were seniors. And what else do I got to say about that? That's pretty much it on the girls' side. But again, 18 schools, and again, I think we have a legit shot of winning this thing outright. And our biggest competitors, though, are Ponagansett. It's their home course, and Prout. On the guys' side, there's 16 schools. East Greenwich is really good. They are going to be pretty hard to beat. All their entire team runs well under 18 minutes. Ponagansett, they're 11-0. They have not lost yet, or they didn't lose in the regular season. We actually, I think, have a decent shot against them. We don't need to beat them. Again, we just need to beat Prout, all right, and everybody else down here. But these teams, Mount Charles didn't even have a full team last year, and they didn't even have a full team at their injury fund. They don't look very strong at all. We've beat up Mount Moses Brown pretty well all season long. Prout, they made it last year, but we beat them by 7 points at the injury fund. St. Ray's, again, we only lost by 1 point. And Ponagansett, if you look at their times, look at our times, we're pretty comparable with them. So, I mean, beating East Greenwich is a pretty tall order. They'd have to have a pretty bad day. We'd have to have an amazing day. But, it's definitely worth going for. But, even if we could pull off one of these top spots, we should be able to make it in. So that's that when it comes to the class meets. And if we just look at last year's class meets, let me see if I can pull these up. So last year, this is let me see what I'm looking at. I'm looking at the girls varsity. The top runner came in 1947. And then here are your top teams from last year. Smithfield, who's not in Class C anymore. They bumped up. They're in Class B, so don't have to worry about them. Prout was the next team. And that's a team that we beat already this season, and then Ponagansett. On the boys' side, last year, the top the top time was 16:30 by an East Greenwich runner. But although look at all these seniors, but believe me, East Greenwich, they bump people up, so they've got some good runners in there this year. But they won it last year. Point Against It was second. Prout. So those are kind of the schools again that were kind of proud. That's the team we got to beat. And what else? So for JV girls, unfortunately on the JV side, there is no class A, B, or C. They throw everybody in together. So for JV runners, you're going to have to run against girls from LaSalle. And there's some really strong teams out there, obviously. And let's see, we've got last year, LaSalle won it, North Kingston, East Greenwich. They were the top three in the JV girls. JV boys won. Again, LaSalle, Bishop Hendricken. Look at these guys. I mean, this is the JV race. You got 1650 and Bishop Hendricken. And I mean, look at these guys. I mean, this is nuts. And then, so it's gonna, that's a tough race. Those are good. Those are good schools, obviously. And then JV boys 2, again, Bishop Hendricken, where they're running, this is their 18th runner on their team is running a 17:46. So very, very tough competition. But that's pretty much where things stand. And that's about all I got for you. So go enjoy some more pasta if there's more out there, and enjoy your pump up videos. And I will see you all on Saturday. Get pumped. All right, bye.